This is a device I often use with families. To me, it's a good thing to use for brief therapy. It's also a good thing to use for people who are very visual, and sometimes for a family where they're not understanding how all the interactions occur in a family. This is called the Vision Instrument a Systems Manual, and it was created by Todd J. Munger, who represents CrossVision Instruments. And there is information about the various types of things you can do with it and so on. I would say it's a bit expensive for the structure of it and so on, but I do understand that it's his concept and he put a lot of time and effort into forming it. Well, I want to start with a basic model of a family lifestyle stage, if you will. Here's a couple. We'll make the couple, the guy blue and the lady is white over here. And as you can see, they're about the same number of pegs away from each other, which means that they're pretty balanced. And you can see that this balance represents a pretty healthy balance right now. Now, one of the things that happens is that we see families sometimes when things start tipping, and I'm going to say one of the things that often comes up is the pursuer-distancer relationship. And with that relationship, you have one partner who tends to want to be closer or more needed, and the other partner generally needs more space or just needs regular space for themselves. So I want to show you, as let's say the wife is feeling a bit neglected, her husband's been working a lot of extra hours, and she's feeling like she wants to be closer to him, spend more time with him. So she wants to get closer to him, and so she starts moving over. Well, as you can see, there's a little bit of a tip already, and what happens as it starts to tip is the two phases of what we call acknowledgement and I can't read it. Being overwhelmed are starting to focus. Acknowledgement, that the side that would be up would be the one that's higher. For those who feel overwhelmed, it's generally lower. Now let's say she's really getting upset about, he's starting to play cards with the guys and go bowling, and she gets very little time with him. So she starts getting even closer. And he says, hey, back off, you're getting a little too close to me. I need a little bit more time for maybe some fishing and time with the guys. And she continues this movement to try and get closer while he continues the movement to get further away. So what she's feeling up here, because this end is higher, is abandoned. And what he's feeling is overwhelmed and suffocated by this type of a movement. This is one type of situation that we see with couples many times, and this visual many times has helped them understand how to balance that. So maybe to get her to start backing off a little bit, we say, well, why don't you spend a little bit of time, why don't you spend a little time helping your, going over to the nursing home and reading to the people at the nursing home. That might be a great thing to help you feel like you're really doing something. And he says, well, gee, if you're willing to do that, I'm willing to give up. I'm only going to fish one day a week. So, yeah, I'll give that up and get closer. And as you see, it's starting to balance out again. So maybe she realizes, hey, I have been too close. I'm going to continue just giving him a little more space. I kind of like going to the senior center and reading to people. And look what's happened. We now have a couple who communicates better and feels more on an even surface. But remember, each person has a comfort level with that balance and with that familiarity they're trying to keep within their marriage. Now let's talk about other problems that can happen with this one. This is a big problem we sometimes see with kids. Let's put them back in about same place again here. Let's put them out here where they're pretty balanced. And all of a sudden, we realize that let's say Junior has started really acting out a lot, and they found out he has a problem with drugs. And Dad says the best way to treat this boy is to make him work harder, keeping him at home, ground him for the rest of his life, and never let him out of the house. And Mom says, "Oh no, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Let me work with him and help him out." And so now we see that real imbalance again, where Mom is protecting the son, and we actually have created some triangulation going on here. And so Dad is feeling real left out because Son is over here. Son is not a part of both of them equally. And so Dad says, "Hey, I think I'm going to start working on the house a little bit more and do some of those things around the house because I enjoy working with my hands and my kid's a total failure. So I'm going to start working around the house a little bit." Well, there's balance, but is it a healthy balance? And that's what you have to consider. Even with this type of equipment, you're showing that sometimes there can be balance in the family, but we just don't talk about it, or we deal with it in different ways. She deals with it by protecting her son and saying, "Oh, the problem isn't really as bad as it seems." And he deals with it by just going and doing his fixing at the house. So these are a couple things that happen many times when we see changes in family stages. Another one is the empty nest cycle. And let's say the husband dies. Mom starts getting more and more depressed and keeps moving down here. What she may do is try and form a bond with one of her children, where they both move in closer toward each other. Daughter, let's say, or son, either one starts to come over more and visit, and things start to balance out again. Now let's say that daughter has another child, and she really loses time to be able to come over as much. So she usually moves over a little bit again because she doesn't have the time to spend there. And now she has another child to look out for. So guess who's feeling abandoned? She starts going off again. "I feel pretty abandoned. I want to be close to you, but you went further away." And Mom and new child feel that they're overwhelmed with their own things to do without trying to take care of Mom. So sometimes then Mom may decide, let's say, to turn to some form of church and see if she can get some of that balance back. So let's say she meets some people she enjoys in her church society, and she says, "You know, I'm really enjoying this church stuff. I'm going to I'm going to join choir. I really like to sing." Well, again, we still have a relationship here formed where mother and daughters can still have some time with the new baby. Mom and her mom can still have some time, and Mom has now found time to spend with others at her church. So I just wanted to show you this as I think a really good visible tool for short-term brief therapy, for people who are visual, for people who don't understand the many complexities. And I haven't even hung things like pets, like someone having an affair. All of those things can happen on here and can be shown to the couple, and why this balance becomes so out of touch with itself. So I hope this helps you as you're thinking about the family moving through the life cycle stages and how things change. So thanks for your attention, and I hope it helps again on your assignment.